But the expectations are always high at Alabama for their football program. It's um, big picture year 3 under Kalen DeBoer. We're going to talk about what's realistic of where this program is, where it's headed, and what you'd expect in Tuscaloosa this year. First of all, it's pretty obvious to state, as we stated when Nick Saban was in the latter stages of his career, that this was going to be an awakening and maybe a surprise to some Alabama fans to think that this program is going to drop quite a bit. And it hasn't dropped significantly, but it is nowhere near the championship level program that it was under Nick Saban. I'm not sure in the modern day that Nick Saban would be able to do, even in his prime, what's the accomplished quite what he accomplished in this modern era NIL era, because you can't create that depth. Look at Georgia, how Georgia looked like they were going to be the next Alabama and dominant. Now they're still good. They're still Georgia, but boy, it's not the same. It's more difficult. So you have to keep that in mind. And Kalen DeBoer, like anyone else, is not Nick Saban. And so I think that the championship level expectations, if that's what it is fine to have. I think you have them at Georgia. I think you now have them at LSU. I think you have them at a lot of places, Ohio State. But I think if you don't win a title in 5 years, you need to go. You'll be going through a lot of coaches potentially. All you need to do is to be good enough to be in a position to win. And then I think sometimes you have to have some breaks to get there. This year's team, I think they have a chance to be really good. They're coming off an 11-4 season, college football appearance, SEC title game run. It's better than probably people give it credit for. The roster, the talent is elite still. One of the best recruiting classes in 2026. They reload through the portal. I think the identity of this team is going to be their defensive front. I think the edge group, bigger, stronger, longer, more athletic than last year's unit. You look at the schedule, look, it's an SEC schedule. It's challenging, but it's manageable enough, I think, to contend for an SEC championship and for the playoffs again. The biggest question is going to be quarterback, and it really is going to depend upon the ceiling of this team is going to depend on how well the quarterback play will be. Now, Austin Mack is experienced in Kalen DeBoer's system and could be maybe the early favorite because of that. Keelan Russell is very good young quarterback with enormous upside. If one of them becomes an elite level, a high level, let's go high level SEC starting quarterback, then I think they're absolutely in a position to make another CFP run. And if the offense is inconsistent early, they might be a 10-2, 9-3 team. It's very possible. This schedule doesn't give you any leeway. If you struggle early and you're trying to figure things out, you might have to make an end of the season run to get into the playoffs at 10-2, 9-3. Look, there's for that fan base there's a confidence level, maybe even over to an arrogance, but a pressure of uncertainty. They know that DeBoer's won consistently. They know that the recruiting remains elite. They know that that the program has not collapsed under Saban the way some people thought it would. But they want to win national title or bust. Well, it's going to be bust most years for any program. You're not going to win it consistently like Nick Saban did it. It's just not going to happen in the modern era. This is DeBoer's roster. It's DeBoer's culture. They want to see playoff wins and championships. I think advancing into the playoffs is important. I think the university believes in him. The fan base is probably split. I don't know if it's right down the middle, but it's split because of the high expectation. So what do I think? I think this has got to likely be a top 10 caliber team, serious contender in the SEC, college football playoff contender. 10-2, 11-1 in the regular season, probably in that range. The defense will likely carry this team early. The quarterback situation settles in. And if the offense clicks in by midseason, they have enough talent to beat anybody in the country. The difference is that Alabama under Nick Saban had better depth like any other program did, because even if you recruit well, those guys tend to leave, and those are your guys that become your quality backups, your depth, and then your starters the following year. Hey, Alabama's ranked number 1 as a superpower. It's Alabama. Can anybody beat Alabama and Nick Saban? That's not the case, and it will not likely be the case anymore. That's not the case for anybody. It's not the case for Indiana. It's not the case for Notre Dame. It's not the case for Ohio State or Georgia or anybody else. It's going to be a little bit more competitive, because I do think that you're going to have some good fortune in terms of health, in terms of schedule. If you're trying to build your team, can you get through some of those hurdles while you're trying to build it? I think Alabama is good. I think they're fine. I don't think their fans quite realize and understand that they're no longer going to be the superpower. And you can have that expectation all you want, but if you have that expectation, you're going to be disappointed most years than not. I still think they can win the title. I think they can win it. In this type of program, they're going to be consistently in the mix, but they're no longer going to be that superpower favorite. Hit that subscribe button if you would. Help keep this podcast free. We appreciate you joining us. Check us out at LandryFootball.com as well. We've got more breakdowns for you in the world of football, college football, NFL. So appreciate you being with us. We'll talk to you again next time, everybody.